So you know how we have our recordings in Riverside FM and you're doing your calls. I'm looking at the thumbnails. I'm like, that's how you know you're putting in work when the thumbnail looks, every single one of them looks like you're just dead on the inside. Like you're just, oh yeah, okay, he's putting in work.
Mm.
He looks over it. He's done. He's dead. No more. I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm still gonna do it.
It's really interesting to go through the work when you don't have the energy to, but all in all, I really want to bring the passion. I want to be focused, so focused where it doesn't look like I'm uncomfortable. Where like I'm knowing that this is what it's gonna take. Not, "Oh, what a drag. Oh, what a why this whole like aloof energy must be extinguished by any means. I want this, and it like, but you're complimenting the consistency, but it's the consistency with the passion, consistency with intention, consistency with emotion, intentionality. I will tear that from the ether. I need to get that into my life. Uh, Intentionality around whatever the task is. If I'm tired, you won't know I'm tired kind of energy, you know what I mean? It's almost like that.
Okay.
It's almost like carrying yourself with, that kind of pizzazz or that swagger, like when you were talking about winning a race by an inch, like, and when you finish the race, you don't want people to make you don't wanna give the people the in the inkling of an idea that you're tired or that you can't do it twice, but you can't do it again, like, don't I won't give you that energy at all, so that's really what I was trying to say is, like, not showing that weakness. You're weak, of course, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't wanna do this is a drag, but don't let it spill out into your face. Don't let it spill out into your body language. Stand strong, stand firm, and don't look weak.
This is a very interesting place to be. What I mean by that is there's this thing in sales that we both know where you have to be detached from the sale and you have to be, willing to let it go and not displaying the anxiety, confidence, basically. And so if you have those things that it catapults you forward and doesn't allow the possible prospect to ask you questions about what you do or don't know. And when you have that look on your face, like you're over it, to me, it does convey a sense of detachment, a sense of confidence comes in when I listen to the call. When you're saying, yeah, it's probably not going to work out for you with A, B, C, and X, Y, Z, right? Because really, I'm getting that sense after you told me that it would only make sense. And they go, yeah. And you're like, yeah, no, and I don't blame you for it because of this, this, and that. Or they go, no, not at all. I really want to get more information. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure to ask and not assume. And so I guess if I were to be able to get you that, what would you have me do? And then they say, I want to move forward. And it's like, okay, cool. Now you know they wanted to move forward because they wanted to move forward, not because they're trying to get you off the phone. So it's like a combination of confidence in your voice and your tonality mixed in with the look of, yep, I do this a lot.
You know what I like
And so
about this conversation, by the way? I'm not trying to cut you off.
go
Every
ahead.
time I say something, I kinda realize that, I may just be saying stuff, not sure, like, how I feel until I hear, like, the soundboard of it. Because you're right, going through this with a sense of, like, it's a confident because you know you could do it, but it's like, I'm not attached to you personally, and whatever you say is not really, like, gonna make me feel a way. But it shows confidence of whether you are or whether you're not, and you know the script, so you're just gonna go it's called being seasoned, and, just hearing it, like the soundboard I was saying, it's just a refreshing thing because sometimes I say something, I'm like, "Do I really feel that way? How do I really feel about this? I know what I said, but what do I really mean?"
This is a thing that is easy to struggle with because you're taught, I'm taught that we have to be that YouTuber excited, doing backflips type of personality. Now, I do get like that in like in real life, just not for everything. You know what I mean? And then I also do have this stoic look on my face more than any look, I would say. But it doesn't mean I don't get happy. So it's like, where's the balance? There's no real true balance. It is, what do you want the balance to be? And I don't know yet if that means it goes based off of feeling. I'm inclined to believe it doesn't, which goes back to what you just said, which is, well, I just need to do the look on my face the way I want to do it, regardless of how I feel. And that's a fair assessment because, I mean, what do we do on the calls? We just do what we have to do, regardless of the feeling of it. What do we do on the back end system? The same thing. Any administration work, just saying that word administration, administrative, such a boring word. No offense to the administrators out there, but
Hey, shout out to the
just doing,
administrators.
yeah, just saying the word makes me want to go to sleep. But that's mainly my role right now, and I still do it regardless. So I think I'm with you on that. I don't want to say struggle because that kind of like insinuates that we don't have a choice here or that the choice is really that hard. It's really not that hard. We just got to choose what we like and we're still discovering it. I mean, who this is happening live. This conversation is happening live. We never talk about the internal struggle of the YouTuber versus the experienced person, personalities. We never talked about that, you and I. Maybe in like some form, right? But I don't know, dude. Just hearing it now out loud, how do you think you're gonna move forward making that choice? Are you going to just kind of leave it up to further exploration? Or are you gonna just beeline it for a choice and vow to stick with it? As far as personality, stoicism versus happy YouTuber.
I mean, I love being myself. I don't want to pretend for no one. And I know that when it comes down to it, at the very end of the day, people like to see that fake personality and that smile. And sometimes that personality is real in that person's part, but that's not me. So I'll leave it to them. I'm gonna leave all that fake hype, because I don't got it for
Yeah.
you. What I do have is me, the facts, the trustworthiness, the whether it's relatability or a cadence to it. That's what I have for you. I'm not a pretender, I'm not a hype man. I'm just me. And I bring that to the calls. I bring that to the calls that I'm on every day. I mean, it sounds sometimes like, well, I know for sure in the beginning when I first started doing like cold calls, or I was the person that felt like my voice was inadequate. I felt like whatever somebody heard on the other end was aggressive, was beastly, was yeah, beastly in that sense. Like it just didn't sound like somebody they wanted to sell or work with, and that's how I felt. Um, Honestly had to learn how to get over it. There were so many get over it moments in real estate for myself that I had to challenge myself with, that I felt like sometimes I was still being an imposter even while I was building up the sales and the resume, and I hit this achievement, hit that achievement. Um, I still felt like there was just an imposter. The imposter syndrome was real for me. Hit like I'm talking about going back to high desert where homes are $200,000 to sell that. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm living. I'm a professional now. And then and then you get to the 500s and you're like, oh, I'm the big dog now. I hit 500,000. Then you get to a 700,000. In high desert, man, that's a big old house, you
Yeah.
know. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna move up here, and I'm like, every home is that $1,000,000 price tag, and there's nothing special about them. There's no, special thing about these homes. They're just homes. They're $1,000,000, and the homeowners still honor the home as if it's $1,000,000 asset. But now it's just like, I don't know, the imposter of yourself. Like, did you really sell anything out there? Like, did that really put that badge on you to say that you're able to? 5, 6 years later, and then you're 30 million in sales and you're still like, "How did I get here? How did I get here?" And, for whatever reason, I just feel like the rookie wall has always been in front of me, even though I know what I know and I'm good at what I do and I can put somebody on the right page or set somebody on the right path. The rookie wall has always been something that's been in front of me. And it's not because I'm afraid of being so-called a vet or anything like that. It's just I always truly continue to learn something in this business. We spent a great deal of money last year and the year prior just learning. We spent more money this year just learning. Um, Not just sales skills, but material like like software, hardware, things that are making our experiences around these calls better. Um, it, it's a never ending thing. So, how do I feel all in all? How I feel about like what I'm going to be doing moving forward, dude? I'm not going to pretend. I just want to be humble, be myself, because that's the best version of me I could be. Whether I sound like um, I'm tired, whether I sound like I know what I'm doing, or not. This is the version of me that I'm most comfortable in. And I mean, you know what it feels like to be on this end of things where you're making dials and when you're prospecting or making material. You've been on YouTube for a long time, actually. Making material, not having to do a lot of dialogue. I mean, you've done dialogue, you've done acting as well on YouTube, but not just acting, but you've done dancing. So it's like performance matters, room presence matters, demeanor matters, talking with a sense of authority. Like you've gone through this thing as well, so you probably know better than I do on like where your comfort is. But I know for sure my comfort is just about to be myself because I don't got no I don't got no jive. I don't got none of that in me.
Yeah, that best describes the mode that people get into in the beginning. And I still consider myself in the beginning. And like you said, I do personally also have that rookie wall always in front of me. It's funny that you like bring that up. Like legitimately today I was thinking about that very concept, which is, man, what was the difference between me and this one guy that basically made $10,000 and I got to watch it because he started a school, like a SKOOL, a week ago. And then he posted a video today. He's like, how I made 10 grand in school in less than a week. And that was the first time knowing what the platform is. And the only reason why he knew about it is because he was at the same exact webinar that I was at where dude made $100 million in 3 days. And so he was talking about all of the reasons why he believes, because like nobody knows 100,000% why they do. How do I say this? Just because you can point out something that looks like the reason why you did something, you don't know every intricate detail and can't really convey every nuance of your life that led you to that moment. So I'm kind of looking at this through that lens, right? Of that lens to say, okay, well, just because he's telling me this is the instructions to life doesn't mean I have to totally listen to it in that kind of a way. But what I did notice that I could actually take from it, and that whoever's watching this can take from it, is that legitimately he was just saying that he took action right away without the perfectionist mindset because he has a perfectionist mindset. And the school that he created is called Ship It or something like that. Shipped It. But basically, that's a saying that means like just do it. Like, send it, go, thought, execution. And it's something I know and I've known for a couple years now, thanks to mentors. But yet again, here's a meta example of why it hasn't worked because I haven't used it at the highest level. So just because you know something doesn't mean that you can do that thing automatically. So really, you do have to just go, you have to ship it, you have to execute. And so when I'm looking at everything that we're doing, we're starting to get onto that path. But it's just funny that our paths cross in that kind of a way where it's like, I don't have any more of this other stuff I used to have with the fake personality of being so gleefully joyful at nothing. And it came across in cold calls at first as having that gleefully joyful fake cheap. I would just call it cheap.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the classic
It was just
word.
cheap. And so where you wouldn't do it, I'll do it. It's like, hey, is John there? Hey John, yeah, this is Roger. I just wanted to call you. It's like, oh my gosh. Somebody get this man off the phone already. I don't even know what he sells.
Mhm,
I'm not buying it.
mhm.
Versus now, where it's just calling to see if it even makes sense in the first place. And if it doesn't, oh well. On to the next person. Like there's somebody out there that's gonna need your help no matter what you sell. It's just up to you to get to that person. The whole point of selling is not what everybody thinks it is. It's not forcing somebody to buy something they don't need.
Right. I
It's not that. What do you think about the fact that these life lessons almost seem like a recipe? Meaning we're both progressing and we don't talk about these things every single day at every point. Case in point is you bringing that up and me going, oh, just earlier I was just thinking about that. And we didn't talk about that. So, what do you think about the parallels of progress and how you're coming to the same conclusions that I am without us even talking about it yet?
is it is it happenstance? Is it that we've been around the same material for a long time that we kinda, like, collide on ideas and thoughts? It's happenstance, in my opinion, that, there's a thought pattern of, "I don't wanna do this," because we've gone through it and we've seen how we've experienced it. Graduation. Call it experience. Because what you did when you showed that example, that was like a good example of like what I used to do. Like, of course, that's what you said, but that's a good example of what I used to do when I was making my calls. Just put it on the face. Do the call, put the face on. Don't expect um um try to hide who you are, kind of thing. It's cheap. If somebody likes you, they're gonna like you. You can't control the other thing on the other side. What you can't control is, are you in front of them? Are you having the integrity? Um, are you giving value? And let the cards fall as they may, because the cheap stuff is only so much you can do of it before. I mean, you have to hold that frame. You have to. It. It's like taking the girl out on a date on the first night. Like, do you do you show her like the most expensive like place, or do you do something that's in your budget? Do what you normally do, because if you do the high thing, you're gonna have to keep up that persona. And maybe that's where a disconnect used to be in the past where I used to work with clients. They'd be like, "Oh, you're the same person on the phone? Oh yeah, that was me." Well, you just didn't see. This is bizarre now. It's a little odd now. Maybe because I wasn't keeping that same frame. But if I don't have to pretend, if I don't have to play cheap, if I could just be myself and then you like who I am or like what I'm saying, and if it resonates with you, maybe we go somewhere. Where do we go from here? You
And
tell me where we go from here.
do you feel like that allows you to push further, deeper, meaning like able to do more work because you don't have to keep up this fake frame anymore and you could just default to yourself?
I'll give you the answer. You tell me if it made sense if it does the same for you. It let me be low anxiety. It let me just focus on the work rather than what somebody's feeling.
Yeah.
The anxiety really came from like, will they like me or not? Who cares?
Yeah. No, it is exactly the same. Even at all the events, places, old people I used to hang out with, even at that, I would be uh, thinking to myself, like these anxious thoughts of trying to predict what's going to happen in the future instead of worrying about what's happening right now. And so it just allowed me to kind of like let go and say, who cares? But On that note, I know you and I both have to get out of here fairly soon. So kind of want to try something a little different, and maybe we'll just do one each and then end it there. I want to, and you tell me if you're cool with this. I want to ask each other a question, but the question has to be valuable for the person watching this who has doors that they're renting out to. Maybe it's not their first or second or third or fourth, because that's not the person we're working with. We're not your make your first dollar servicers. We're not the make your last dollar servicers either. Rather, we're the people in the middle, the people that help you get tenants in when you have 5 to 100 doors, whatever amount of doors you decide to get, you know, property management at. Or if you ended up selling, we're the people that you sell with. So people knowing that, what's a question that we could ask each other? If I asked you a question, you would give me the answer that would help those people. Would you be down to do something like that?
I'd be down. Only because I want to make sure that I'm on the same page with you. And this is the first time we're doing this. This is live. This isn't something we've rehearsed or anything. So
Yeah,
I
no
want you
worries.
to give me whatever it is the question is, so that when it's my turn, I can give you a question worth asking. I know you've explained it, but for our C plus grade students like myself, just help me out.
I get it, and you're not a telepath. You can't understand all the nuances of what that even comes with. As communicators, we know that that's a huge freaking deal. And just because there's 5 words in a sentence doesn't mean there's not a million ways to, misconstrue that. And there's only one correct way that they actually meant it. So that's a good segue. I could just make a question off of that. How have you found was the best way to make sure you and the prospect, the tenants, anybody are on the same page?
Just trying to understand, like, what their timelines are as far as, like, expectations. But really, once I go through this, process, like, understanding what the client needs are and knowing, like, when's the best time, the optimal time of talking to them, just, making sure that I have a window of opportunity through the day, um, that is coordinated with the client so that there is no miscommunication. And, typically, I don't text, 'cause it works really well for miscommunication. If you wanna lose somebody, in my opinion, in the world of texting, it's like the quickest and fastest way to offend somebody. So, um, at the end of business, whether it be, scheduled or at the end of business every day, just give them a ring, let them know where we are, where we stand, and how the progress is, typically with some material like what's the next steps for a client that they're working with. For example, if a landlord is working with me to get them their unit filled, then I should have a tenant update for them for that call, not just an empty call of, "Hey, how's it going? Just wanted to hear your voice." I mean, they don't want to hear my voice just to hear my voice. I mean, let's be real. So, making sure that there's something tangible at the end of every call, something that actually happened. It's called an action item. So, yeah, and it's not that you wanna be in front of them every day, you wanna be in front of them with material. So if there's something to provide it. If there's nothing there, I don't shy away from saying, "Hey, there's nothing new. Let's catch up another time." Because they still wanna get an update, but at the same time, no update, like, an update of nothing is still an update of something. If that makes sense. So,
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
but as far as systems are concerned, there are some systems that we are not using today that I truly want to adopt again. Um, but as of today, the system is based on like what we're what is our actual bandwidth. Like if we have a ton of people, I'm sure our systems change, but as of right now, because we're starting a new niche, this is a new niche. Let's not be confused. Let's not pretend working with rental property, but it's a skill that is a sub skill of things that we've already done. It's something that we're already good at serving our clients. maintaining properties, listing them, putting the professionals around them, not just ourselves, but other professionals in front of them. It's a lower commission, of course, but it's a sub-skill of the thing that we are proficient at. So,
Yeah, no, and we are doing it this way just for clarification to those that are outside of your and our conversation or conversations that we have about this. We're doing it this way mainly because all the other stuff require learning curves that a lot of people don't have when they come to us and look to use our services. So if they try to use us and our services to help them out, but for some reason they're not quite there yet to be able to, whether it's financially or whatever it is for them, we could have a system for them to use on their own. And so by reducing all of this, all these learning curves, because you already know what Google products are, you already know how a phone works, you already know. We're trying to make sure that this is such a low level learning curve that although I'm sure people watching this are very intelligent to get to the spot where they need to go, doesn't mean that they actually want to throw themselves on top of this and try to learn everything all in a short time span because time is money, especially when you have vacancies. So this is going to be something that we, in fact, offer. Now, if I can overview what you said, you basically said a good way to communicate or stay a good way to stay on the same page as somebody uh, as a you know as it pertains to this specific person that we outlined is try not to text, try to call. Texting gets you in trouble easy. Fam or book a meeting from a meeting with action items. Have a system, and as we just discussed, try to make it low level and just build on top of it. Because as you said earlier in the conversation in this interaction, every single time we basically come to the table, we're improving on a system in the business, not even just the system for getting tenants or prospects or clients, but just the business overall. And we want to compact that, compile it, and give it to people watching this. So that's a good one. It's a very good one. Now, I got to ask for your question to me. And I'm going to try to condense it because kind of running low on time here.
okay. So when you're speaking with a prospect, and not to put a price tag on it, it doesn't matter if it was 500,000 or 5 million. When you're giving them a call just to, understand where they are, what are some things that you're looking to understand from their situation so that you can understand whether or not they're somebody that needs your help? So that way you can properly uh, assess them and give them whatever it is that they're looking to get done in their situation. And I ask it that way simply because somebody on the other end is going to be annoyed. They're tired of getting these calls. I heard it today. I got on the call with somebody and they said, "Hey, are you trying to sell my property?" And I said, funny? No, I'm not actually." And brought it back at the very end of the conversation. I said, "You mentioned something earlier about selling the property. You probably get 100 of those calls. What do you would that person be wasting their time if they did put an offer in front of you?" "Well, it's not that it's just I get a lot of these." Okay. So when I use that as an example and I bring this to you, what is it that you're trying to understand from a person trying to that's just living their life and they have an asset that they may or may not know if they need to sell it or not?
So, a lot of elements to that question. If I were to pick the biggest thing that stood out to me, it would be how do I gauge their level of motivation to move forward to the next steps? Because you and I both know things happen and they happen all the time. It could have been on the market, and then they got off the market. There's a question mark in there. It's up to us to find out what the question mark is within reason. If it's a personal reason, we don't need to know what the reason is. We just need to know that there is a reason that we need to not call you back ever again. Or maybe we do need to call you back, but it's up to us to gather your desire to sell, your further desire to sell, your ability to be able to do so, the reasoning behind it, and your timeline. And if those don't fit within the parameters that are going to best suit us to be able to best serve them, then we need to move accordingly. Basically, we just need to move accordingly. And so when you're on that first call, that's exactly what you're doing. You're just trying to figure out Hey, is this even somebody that I could help in the first place? Because maybe I can't. Maybe they're better off doing something else. Second call, maybe something changed between back then and now. It happens all the time. Sometimes I go, "Oh, I don't know. I didn't really think about selling. It's on the back burner. Can you just call me back next month? Because this reason." You call them back, I'm so glad you called. I need you and your services quicker than I thought. I thought I was going to go to market at the latest or at the earliest next year. Needs to happen in a couple months, if not next month. Or the one that we more get common is, yeah, we're not selling after all. Why? Because we just found out that if we sold, these bad things would have happened. Then we just explore a little bit more and say, hey, with those bad things, would you look at trying to rent the house? Would you like we're trying to find better ways to best serve them? Not that they didn't look themselves, but sometimes it's better to get a second set of eyes, especially somebody who's in the field. And if it's not worth it for them, and e- even if they think it's worth it for them, and we can clearly see that it's not, given everything they said, we'll further ask questions to shape this conversation to potentially discover what their thought process was around it. And sometimes we go, "Oh, okay, there it is. That's the reason why they think it's better for them," and they're right. But sometimes they go, "Oh, you know what? I never thought about it that way. Can we just look at the numbers again just to see if it's going to be even worth it?"
Sounds like they don't even know that they want to do something until they're, like, asked something in a way they never asked themselves.
Yeah, and it's like it's human nature. Sometimes you figure things out when you come back to the table and think about it again. Sometimes you thought about it and then you say it out loud and then you discover something else. Sometimes you look at a post or a picture of yourself in that action or in that moment and then you go, "Oh, I didn't see it from that angle." If it could happen with yourself,
It can certainly happen with other people.
especially when they're only talking about you, about yourself to yourself. What a crazy concept, right? But that would be how I'd go about that situation.
Amen. I'm glad we did go around over that exercise because, I mean, it gave me an opportunity to really throw around some ideas that I otherwise wouldn't have ever asked. So next time bringing some kind of, thoughts or ideas to the table would be more easier than not. So I can expect this next time around. And I know, like you said, we have some things that we got to work on. So cutting it short on time. We appreciate you guys for kind of tuning in, and if anything, do plan on catching up with you guys in a few.
Yeah, definitely. And can't wait till next episode, or at least until this one comes out. So with that, we'll see you later.